Today I received my Flow Light frame kit from Flow Honey out of Australia. We're in Canada and we're excited to try it. Today is the 2nd of July, which is perfect timing so that we can get it in our hives for our honey flow. Today I received my 3-frame Flow Light kit from Flow Honey out of Australia for my bees. And let's take a look at what was included in the box. Well, first they included the detailed instructions on how to use it. It's also in the book. It shows you how to modify your frame so that you can have some access windows. Talks also about some safety equipment. Flow's working really hard to show new bee lovers and honey lovers how to manage their hive. It's not just as extracting honey. There's a whole maintenance and support of your existing hive. Now, what they've included in the kit 3 tubes that will be attached to the Flow frame to extract honey. As you can see, they've included a stainless steel tool, and this tool is the J tool is used to open and close the cells within the frame. Because I was one of the first members ordering the Flow frames, they also sent me a veil with a nice hat with their logo on it, which is kind of cool. Now let's take a look. So I ordered 3 frames, and you can see 1, 2, 3. We'll pull the first one out. As we can see, the frames have all of the cells. There's a front and the back of the frame. The back of the frame has a screw in it, so that's used to adjust the depth of the frame so that it'll push the frame forward to keep the area sealed so that the bees can't escape from the access panel. Also has looks like an aviation grade stainless steel wire on the top to hold the frame, on the top and bottom, to hold the frame together. What also on this end is the 2 working ends of the frame. The working end of the frame. First there's a tool port and then also a tube port on the bottom. Now it looks like the tool port just pulls out. As you can see, now you can look down the center and you can see that there's the 2 compartments, an upper and a lower. And how this works, it's my understanding, and we'll try it right now. The tool slides in. As you can see, it slides in right in the top all the way down. And that's used to, when you twist it, it sends every other column within the frame up or down to split the cells to allow the honey to flow out. And that flows then into the bottom compartment down here and out one of these plastic tubes, which has their nice logo on it, which flows out the tube, and then you would have a glass jar where the honey would roll into, or you can put another plastic tube and put it into the lid of a jar to keep the bees from robbing the honey while you're trying to extract it. Now, the great thing with with the Flow technology is that when the frame splits apart to extract the honey, it won't negatively affect the bees that are on the surface, and it will just break open the cells so that the honey will roll down into the bottom trough. As you can see here, Flow's talked how this is modular, so that you can take this wire off and then add more of these left and right pieces of the Flow frame, so you can actually make this longer or shorter depending on your need, if you wanted to put it into maybe an existing tree hive or a specialty hive that you're making. Now what we'll do is we'll take a look at the working part of this that makes this technology so fantastic. As you can see, the cells right now are in the closed position, and then what we'll do is we'll hold the frame and we're going to twist the J tool in one direction, and it will cause all of the cells to open. We've got the J tool in. What we'll do is, when you have the J tool in the bottom track, it allows you to split the cells and open the hive and let the honey escape through this bottom trough out this tube. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this, and when we turn it, what it does is it splits the cells open, and now you can see that they're zigzag all the way down, so that the honey will break down, run down through the side, through the center column, and into the track. Now, when you're all done, and when the honey's been totally drawn out of this frame from both sides, what you do is you can take the tool, you take the J tool out, move it into the upper section, and you slide it all the way back down. And now when you twist again, the J tool forces all of the cells to align properly again and close up. Now what will happen is the bees will identify that the cells are now empty, and they'll come and finish sealing the cells with their own wax. They take the wax off because it was capped, uncap it, realize that it's missing honey, reseal anywhere there's cracks, fill it back with honey, and recap it. The nice thing about this is it also speeds things up, because you won't have to, the bees won't have to build up all the comb again. They just have to fill the cracks and cap it. So it's going to save a lot of time and effort for the bees. And so now that it's in the closed motion, what you do is you just turn the tool, remove it, keep it safe, and then take this cap, and then you slide this back on, and you move on to the next frame. The other nice feature is that if the hive is in the open position where the honey would still be draining, the cap won't close, because there's a safety mechanism here which causes the cap not to slide all the way in. So once the frame is put in its proper position and everything is ready to be closed up, the cap will fit in nicely snug and sealed. Also, it's my understanding that there's a gap between this first area of the first section of comb and the face plate, where the bees can then extract the honey with their tongues to reuse it. So if there was any honey left in the bottom trough, it can be then repurposed and put back into the hive. The other nice feature is that this whole face bunches each of the flow frames together one by one. As you can see, now we have two, and because they come close together, they create an access window, so that when you have an opening here so that you can see your bees, you can also see that the bees can't get out, because these two frames come close together, which still gives the bees a lot of room to work. So as you can see, 1, 2 access panels, and then there's the third one. So they all line up nice and neatly. So if you want to grow your hive with the Flow product, you can add more and adjust it accordingly. Here, we're going to take a closer look on how this all comes together. Now, once the Flow frame is full of honey and it's all capped, and the bees have done their job, and now you want to extract the honey, it's really quite easy. You'll take the tool access port off at the top. So we remove the tool access port, and then down at the bottom here, as you can see, there's this little opening. So what we'll do is we're going to pull that little tube opening out, and what we do is we use the supplied Flow tube So now you can see that the tube has been supplied, and now what you can do is you can take a jar and set it here, and the honey will flow out this tube into a jar. Other neat feature is when this is all complete and you've extracted all your honey, there'll still be honey laying in the bottom trough that hasn't come out, and they don't want that honey to stay there and crystallize and not be used. So they have a nice feature. So once you take your tube out and you're all done extracting your honey, and you put your cap back on and you close this up, if we look here on the back of the Flow frame, you can see that there's this little mesh area right there, and this mesh area allows the bees to extract the honey that's sitting in the bottom of this frame and reutilize it rather than wasting the honey.